Hello my friends, welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and if you are new here, hey, welcome. I hope you'll consider subscribing for lots more diamond painting content. And if you are back, welcome back. Today I am here with my weekly WIP and Chat. WIP stands for Work in Progress, and Chat stands for chat. So feel free to whip out your WIP and work alongside me. I'm going to be working on a diamond painting today and just chatting with you all about my week and what I've been up to. And I'd love to hear from you in the comments about how you're doing and what you're up to. So let's go ahead and get started. First, I want to tell you what I'm going to be working with and on today. So I mentioned I'd be doing a diamond painting. I'm actually working on my custom diamond painting kit for summer with the masters, and it's a custom of this beautiful piece from John William Waterhouse, and it was, I think, from the year 1903. I looked and it was, some sources said 1903, some said 1904. I'm not going to quibble over a year. It's part of the public domain either way. The name of this piece is Psyche Entering Cupid's Garden. And I got this in a size 50 by 75 from Jaded Gem Shop. And since this artwork is a part of the public domain, it's from before the year 1928, which is the current copyright year in the United States, and therefore it's free to use. It was all totally above board. So I felt, like I'm making an ethical decision getting a custom of this artwork. And this is actually now available to order just as a prepackaged kit from Jaded Gem Shop. I ordered it initially as a custom, and she sent me the mock-ups of the sizes and whatnot. But now, and then she just added it to her site as listing because she could totally do that. But the area we'll be working on today, I've got it oriented this way because I started down this corner right here is right here. So we're going to be working on kicking off the second row, so probably right in here. So not a whole lot going on details wise in this particular area that we'll be working on, but I don't know, not everyone really watches the screen necessarily during WIP and Chats. Kind of just, you're probably working on your own sort of project at the same time. But anyway, as far as accessories I'll be using, this pen is from MTN Inspirations, aka Brewers Diamond Painting Pens. I think they're just on Etsy. I know a lot of small shops have been opening their own like Shopify storefronts because I keep hearing about Etsy fees just getting completely out of control and making it actually unsustainable for a lot of shops to stay open on Etsy. But to my knowledge, they're still just on Etsy, but I'll double check and I'll link it below. All these accessories and everything will be linked below. And then this adorable minder is from Galloway's Gallery, and there's no dragon in this piece, but there certainly are a lot of really pretty florals. Oops, I'll just drop that. And I just wanted an excuse to use this really cute minder. And then this tray is from Cat Proof Trays. It's in their translucent gold filament, and translucent rose gold, I think. And I am obsessed with all things rose gold, and it really suits the artwork. These cat-proof trays have quickly become some of my favorites. I get their larger sizes. This one, you can kind of see it etched in here. It's the fine boy size, which is so cute. And they come with these lids, actually, that snap really securely on here, a lot more securely and easily than a lot of lids out there do. And it is, you're not going to lose your diamonds. So it's super handy. They're actually sponsoring Summer with the Masters this year, which I'm really stoked about. So, and then other accessories wise, I'm going to be using, this is wax, not putty. It's wax from Sensible by Design. I actually am really thoroughly enjoying using the Sensible by Design wax in my single placer. And then I'm going to be using putty from Randa's Crafty Corner in my multi-placer. So, what else? I think that's it. I forgot to measure off my next row of this canvas, and believe it or not, I don't think it'll be that hard to believe. I'm pretty extra, and what I'll do is, you incredibly do not have to do this, but I do often, usually almost every time. I measure off my canvases so that I know roughly that I'm going to be working on the same size sections throughout, and I like dividing up my canvases with washi tape into sections. It makes it feel a lot more manageable, and I actually talked about my reasoning behind that in my it's 8 tips for for faster diamond painting. This is one of my tips, and I don't know why, it just helps my brain. So anyway, because this was such a confetti heavy piece, I deliberately sectioned off pretty small. It was like 10.7 centimeters. What I did is I took the dimensions, like height wise, which was 75, and I divided it. In this case, I divided it by 7. And that gave me, my rows. And then I think I divided it into 4, left to right. So anyway, let me see. That puts us right about, okay, right there. And then I use washi tape and I just section it off. By the way, this goes on the plastic cover. It does not go directly on the glue of the canvas. Please don't put washi tape directly on the glue. That will make life a little bit tricky, a little bit difficult for you. Anyway, while I'm taping this off, how are you guys doing today? I hope that your week is off to a wonderful start so far. It is currently Sunday night. I have to say, it's nice to be back to filming my WIP and Chats on the weekends. They can go up for you on Mondays. During the month of May, while I was hosting Marvelous May, I had my Marvel themed videos going up on Mondays. And so my WIP and Chats got bumped to Tuesdays. And I always kind of felt like, it would be nice to get back to my usual Monday WIP and Chats. So, yeah, let me know in the comments what you're working on as we chat. I know a lot of people have been going ahead and starting some Summer with the Masters kits, and that's been really fun to see. It's been interesting. So there's like a lot that kind of goes into it. So some fun things with Summer with the Masters first. So this is the 3rd year of Summer with the Masters. And even if you're not participating, hopefully this kind of thing will still sound interesting to you. I was kind of mulling it over a bit as we were getting ready to really kick off the event. But it sort of accidentally became a tradition that I would work on a piece by John William Waterhouse as a custom for Summer with the Masters. And that started the very, very first Summer with the Masters in 2021. And what had happened was that I had started kind of poking around trying to find artwork that I might enjoy working on for the event, because when we created and came up with this event in 2021, there were very, 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 very few places that offered prepackaged kits of this genre of artwork. It wasn't popular, which is totally fine. It's completely fine. I'm going to talk more about that in just a moment, but first I got to pick a color. There's just so much confetti that it takes me a moment to decide like what color is actually, what symbol jumps out at me the most. Anyway, so when we launched this event and conceived this event and we're trying to pick out kits that we wanted to work on, it's really like basically Diamond Dots had a few prepackaged kits that fit the theme. And then you could get Starry Night from a few different shops. And there were a couple other outliers, like one kit there, one kit here. I need to get some fresh wax. Hold on a second. And so really what Jessica and I were looking at doing that year, Jessica is Tiny Worlds of Wonder, and she and I kind of created this event back then. We realized, okay, well, we're going to be doing customs then. And so I was browsing around. I wasn't terribly familiar with this genre of artwork when I started, and I have to admit, so I was just kind of blindly browsing. I was very much learning as I go, and John William Waterhouse's artwork was really what caught my eye right off the bat. And the first piece that I did that year was called, I ordered a custom of Miranda the Tempest by John William Waterhouse. And it wasn't something that I picked out because of the artist. It was something I picked out because the artwork really spoke to me. I loved the way that he created this character, and the emotion that he conveyed through his artwork, and just even just the style of artwork really appealed to me, like the way that he worked with color and the textures he used and everything. Even though I couldn't necessarily put name to all of those things at the time, those were the kinds of things that really drew me in. And then the second year of Summer with the Masters, I kind of kept coming back to, he was a known factor for me, that artist. So I was like, well, I know I like that work. Let me just go see if anything else catches my eye. And immediately had like 3 other pieces that ended up in my, oh, these would be really nice to work on pile. But then I thought, let me keep looking. Let me see if there's something else. Let me see if I can branch out a little bit at the time. And no, I just really kept coming back to those pieces that I had kind of saved and bookmarked from John William Waterhouse. And so I ordered that custom that year from Dreamer Designs, and actually did not have the best experience like with the process of ordering that custom. It was kind of frustrating. They advertise that they like work with you and that they like contact you, at least they did at the time, after you submit the image. And I'd heard of them doing this with other people, and they didn't do it with me. And there were things that I was not really happy with about how that kit turned out. And I kind of thought, if you would have done what you advertised, like maybe this would have been avoided. But it is what it is, whatever. And then this year I thought, okay, I did the same thing kind of as last year, where my gut reaction was like, or my initial thought was, let me go. I just want to go look and see if John William Waterhouse's artwork is still catching my eye this year. But okay, like I'm also going to go see if I want to branch out a little bit. And actually a couple of you had given me some really fantastic suggestions for other artists to take a look at. And I did bookmark some of them. I did. And I really, really strongly considered it. But my heart just wasn't nearly as into it as this kind of artwork. And so I just thought, maybe next year I'll order 2 customs or something, because at this rate, I just think John William Waterhouse, a custom of a John William Waterhouse piece is just going to be a staple of the event for me. And he has so much. It's not like I'm going to run out anytime soon, but it's tricky though, because a lot of Old Masters artwork does end up being highly confetti heavy to translate into a diamond painting form, and you have to go like really large, and often just the way that it translates, it definitely does not lend itself to like a clean, crisp rendering style. So I'm excited to see how this one turns out. I'm gonna see if I can space it out through at least like the first month of the event. But we're 4 days in and I've already finished one of, 7 rows. So I'll definitely have to pull back out my cross-stitch conversion project. And I also did kit up another project to work on for some of the Pride-themed events that are going on this month. I finally kitted up and had been meaning to work on this for a while, the kit Rainbow Dreams from Craftably. And the artist is Carrie Ann Aldridge. And I knew that I was going to work on that one. I almost kitted it up a few months back when Craftably was really kind of in dire straits and had reached out to the community for some help and support. And gosh, you guys, did we pull through on that or what? But I thought, no, I really want to try to save this for Pride. And it was a gift from, excuse me. It was a gift from a dear friend who, it has so much special meaning to me, and it just really felt perfect to work on it during the month of June. So I did kit that up. I've actually completed the first row on that one as well. It has a lot of color blocking, and the colors, there's just oodles of pinks. Actually, do you want to see it? I have it right beside me. So you're going to get a little peek at this kit that I kitted up and started working on. So it's called Rainbow Dreams, and it's got this gal and like this amazing rainbow sweater she's wearing. She's a little thick and I love it, but here's what I have done is this bottom row. and lots of pink clouds and her boot, and then lots more pink clouds. But there's like a white AB and a pale pink AB that are really pretty in here, and it's so happy. And there's so many special drills in her sweatshirt, and like all the white stars and stuff and sparkles in her hair. It's happiness. This kit is happiness, and I love it. So there you go. You get a little peek. It's nice that I happen to have that. I just shifted it to the other side of the kitchen table. It's what I was working on earlier today. What do you got again? Oh my goodness. One quick drink of water. I'll talk more about why I've been having trouble, why I've been tired during the day. I'm having trouble with yawning a lot, but let me backtrack. So we were talking about Summer with the Masters, and there was more I wanted to share on that. But I learned my lesson last month with working on a really large confetti heavy square drill kit, was that let's have another kit going at the same time so that I don't burn out. And it has the added bonus of letting me extend this kit throughout the month a little bit longer. I have some other Summer with the Masters kits in my stash that I'm still waffling on which I'd like to work on. I have a little bit smaller one that I had gotten from Michael's, which is a crafting store here in the States, and they have their own store brand called Make Market. Actually, recently, they discontinued, like they clearanced out most of their Diamond Dots branded kits, and the last time I was there, which was a few weeks ago, all that I saw at my Michael's was this Make Market brand, and I have like a small suspicion that it could be that still shares a parent brand with Diamond Dots, because that's a thing that I've seen at other crafting stores where it'll have a different brand name on it, but then when you look in the fine print, it says like powered by Diamond Dots or something similar. So, I mean, that's possible, but I'm very curious to work on one of those Make Market brand kits. And this one, this Old Masters themed one I had bought last year, and it's in my stash. I also I have a couple that are from Distracted by Diamonds. I have one from Enablers Outpost. I think one from Diamond Art Club, and I gotta, I guess, decide which I want to work on. Yeah, so I think my thought is I'll probably work on 3 over the summer. And I have 2 months, like 3 kits spread over 2 months. So I have plenty of sort of margin and mental energy to work on other projects at the same time. Yeah, I'm hopeful that will help me avoid burnout and event fatigue. So, but yeah, I just thought it would be interesting. Like I said, I was mulling over and just sort of reflecting. That's the word I'm looking for. Reflecting back on how Summer with the Masters sort of came to be and how that all started, because gosh, 2 years ago when I started this event, I did not have, I probably had a quarter of the subscribers that I have now, less maybe even. And so a lot of you weren't even around when I conceived that event with Jessica. And the way that it had come about is that Jessica and I had talked a number of times, and we knew we clicked well, and we knew that we loved the idea of hosting an event together, but we weren't totally sure what we wanted to do. And we kicked around a variety of different ideas, and we both knew that we had this sort of passion for teaching. Like, we liked the sort of educational aspect that many creators use YouTube for, and many of you come to YouTube for, like the idea of learning something new, like tips and tricks or that sort of thing. We also knew that we both were passionate about the importance of licensed artwork, but we also really understood and empathized with what the reality is for a lot of people, which is that sometimes they're priced out by licensed artwork options, particularly at that time where, it felt like maybe there were less than a dozen companies that had legally licensed artwork. Now there's a ton, like everyone is starting diamond painting companies with licensed artwork. But at the time it didn't feel quite as accessible. So we thought, okay, there's these ideas that we have where it's like, how can we look for something that it's a little more accessible to people at a variety of different price points. And we can incorporate some teaching into that. And then we both kind of thought, what's sort of an untapped area of the community where there's some potential, because we didn't just want to recycle the ideas that other people had already done. We wanted to come up with something that was new, that was a fresh perspective and a new kind of contribution to the community. And I knew particularly that Jessica really enjoyed this genre of artwork. And I floated the idea, what if we did something that was sort of based around classic artwork? And it's part of the public domain. And I was still kind of researching, but I was tossing out ideas to her. And she was stoked as soon as I mentioned it. And we knew that was it. And the rest is history. And that first year's event was pretty small scale, especially because this genre of artwork doesn't appeal to everyone. It doesn't have to. That's the beauty of it, is like, okay, well, this appeals to maybe a set of people that haven't gotten to work on as many diamond paintings in a genre that they enjoy as much. It just felt like it was a win-win, or if you're an Office fan, it was a win-win-win situation. And so that first year, the way that we structured it, I think it ended up being like in total, almost a 3-month event, because we did a month of like teaching videos on our channel that had to do with teaching people how to order customs, like where to find artwork, talking about what is this genre, what are we talking about, what do you mean, that sort of thing. And then it was like, okay, now I want to give people time to order customs and for those to come in. And then the event itself, where you participate with your diamond painting, then it'll start. And we'll do some videos then too, I think, is what we did. So it went on like for a while, and we learned a lot. That was the very first event that I had been a part of hosting. And so I learned a lot. And we connected with a lot of really amazing people, some of whom, like, I still have so much fondness when I see your names pop up saying that you're participating in Summer with the Masters this year. So I'm like, oh, you joined in with us when we started this event 2 years ago. So, and I am continuously just really, really delighted to see that this genre of artwork, I feel like, has gained some momentum in the diamond painting world. I see a lot of shops carrying that artwork now. And again, it's a win for them because it's public domain artwork. They don't have to pay for licensing, and it's ethical to do so. Like, it's all above board. And I also just am enjoying seeing a lot of you guys discover the genre of artwork. And I have so much more appreciation for and enjoyment of this artwork than I had when I started. And even my co-host this year, Anthony, he really, from what he's told me, and I know he said in his videos, that Summer with the Masters last year is what really got him hooked on the craft. And he really loves like working on diamond paintings in that genre. And it's neat. I love it. It makes me so happy that this has turned into what it is. And I'm very, very curious to see, what everyone works on, even just how many people join in on this year's event. I don't really know. I'm trying to think. I did look at the event sign up form, and keep in mind that event sign up form went live 4 days ago, and our launch videos for the event went up 4 days ago. The last time I looked, which was like 24 hours ago, we had over 150 names for people that had signed up that they were participating in the event. So that's pretty fun. I think that's pretty fun. And I'm most excited to see. I need to go browse the hashtag and see what everyone's working on. So anyway, just a little reflection. This was your reflection portion of the WIP and Chat. Looking back on how Summer with the Masters came to be, and how the third year of this event, how different it looks, and how much it's grown from the first year. And, I think that there maybe is a good takeaway there, I suppose, for those of you that are creators or just, I don't know, crafters in general. Look for like the untapped areas that you can give into. Don't just recycle what other people are doing or have done. Like, spend some time like thinking and going, okay, what can I do that's different, that is, might open things up for people. What's, tap into what you are most passionate about, what your strengths are, what you're interested in, and go with that. Instead of just going, well, I'm just gonna copy and try to replicate the same concept or the same idea or whatnot, and I'll just see if I can just put my own spin on it, and then maybe I don't know. I don't know. I like the idea of come up with something original, do something new, do something different, and yeah. So yeah. Events, content creating, those kinds of things. Just be creative. Be creative. So yeah, that's Summer with the Masters. So it has been a busy week, but it has been a good one too. We had. By we, I mean Lindsay and I had a live stream on Friday night, which was really, really, really fun. Neither of us have gone live, I think, since the Black Friday countdown live stream, and we really enjoy going live when we do. It's just we're both really heckin' busy with our kiddos and stuff. It's hard to commit to doing live streams with any real regularity, but we both always afterwards go, we should do live streams more often. We both have 2 small children with special needs, and we tend to do a lot of our content creating and crafting sort of like fit in around what their needs are, and that can really vary from day to day and week to week and hour to hour, and the only consistent free time that I have really is after they go to bed. And given that I'm on the West Coast, it's just, most people are in bed. If I tried to live stream at 9 p.m. Pacific time, most people are in bed. So that doesn't totally work, but I'm thrilled that we were able to make it work for that countdown live. It was a really fun vibe, and just the energy was so fun. And of course, Adam was helping out with my kiddos. My youngest did make a couple of little appearances, but I knew that would happen. It was completely not a big deal. Like, Adam was right there, and he made the right call to like let my youngest come up to me, because come on, he's little. He has special needs. Like, he's not used to like being in the same space as I am and being denied access to me. So it was totally fine. But no one in the chat really, like, I don't think people were really upset or anything like that. I mean, he's just a little kiddo. I think he's pretty cute too. And otherwise, I don't really show my kids' faces on my public channel, but you guys got a little glimpse there, But it was so much fun to do that live, and even though I had just the funniest glitch or mix up, something strange happened in that live. So the release time rolls around, and I'm minding the chat. I'm talking a little bit with Lindsay, and I'm also trying in another screen to go ahead and get logged in and make my purchases. And I had checked out using PayPal, which is it's connected to a different email address than my Diamond Art Club account, for reasons that it truly doesn't matter. What matters is that somehow that order with Diamond Art Club connected to a different email address than my usual one. And so I'd placed my order. I was like, oh, great. Like it says my order's been placed successfully. Get a confirmation email. And then a minute later, I get another email that says, congratulations, you've achieved Sapphire. And I like read it out loud on the stream. And I'm like, what? Sapphire is the lowest tier of their rewards program, and I just was cracking up because I was like, I think I hit Diamond, the top tier, maybe I don't know, like less than a couple months after I started diamond painting and discovered Diamond Art Club, and I haven't dropped below that tier since. So I just was like, what in the world? Diamond Art Club happened to be in the chat. And I was like, I swear I wasn't trying to do anything nefarious. Now they're like, oh my gosh, we'll fix it for you, Katie. And they did. It was fine. But I just thought, how did that even happen? And that's not the first. I mean, you don't need to troubleshoot in the chat, in the comments. Like it was just purely a glitch. No, it's not the first time that I've checked out using PayPal. I don't know. I have absolutely no idea, but it's not a big deal. It was just highly entertaining and really hilarious at the time. If you feel like it, the live replay is available if you'd like to go and watch. And you get to see Lindsay's and my faces, which we don't really normally show. We're just mostly hands. I was entertained. One of you guys had commented on that video and said, it was fun to see your face. I knew you were more than just hands. I laughed and I'm like, it's true. It's true. So, yeah, I crashed hard after that though. I love doing those, but as an introvert, it certainly is. Afterwards, my body's like, okay, it's time for a nap and a crash and a headache. And I'm just like, why are you doing this to me, body? I loved going live and I had so much fun. It just, bodies are fun. Bodies are weird. So that was a lot of fun. It was also a busy week because I had Marvelous May wrapping up, which I need to film and post that wrap-up video for you guys here soon and announce those grand prize winners. And then I kicked off Summer with the Masters, which included my launch video on the 1st, and then I did our week 1 video. We're going to be alternating the videos for that event on Anthony's and my channel every other week. So I did week 1, he'll have week 2, and they'll go up on, I think we said Saturday, but it might sometimes go up on Sundays. Weekends. They'll go up on weekends. So that kept me busy. And then I do have a backlog at this point. I have so many amazing things I'm stoked to share with you guys as far as unboxings and reviews go of completed diamond painting kits. And I feel like I'm gonna, like I've said a lot lately, I think I'm just gonna have to put up a lot of videos for a minute till I get caught up and feel like I don't have a big old backlog. I'm glad that I filmed ahead a bit. And I have those videos just sitting and waiting, because that means like, oh, if I need to take a little bit of a breather from the actual filming process while my kids, once they're on summer break, then it might be nice to have some of these videos in my back pocket. But also, I'm just so darn excited to share them with you. I don't want to wait. So we'll see. I'm going to look at the calendar and map out what I want to do with this week. And I actually usually post, every week, not usually, but every week. In fact, I do post my weekly plans, do a little update over in my Patreon. I do have a Patreon if you were curious, and there's some different tiers in there with different perks. And it's just a fun way to support my channel that always goes right back into my channel. And it's a fun way to connect with the smaller community behind the scenes as well. I've been trying to do some pop-up live streams from time to time that I open up to my whole Patreon. Those aren't guaranteed, but the top tier is guaranteed at a tier exclusive monthly live stream that I usually do at the end of each month, and that always happens no matter what. So feel free to take a look if you're looking for a little bit more content than you get here. There's weekly vlogs if you like that sort of chatter and catching up. And like I said, it's just nice to feel like there's a little bit more intimate community and chance to connect there as well. So I always have it linked in my description, but please, I always want to make sure I say don't feel obligated whatsoever. That really might not be for you at all. I will happily and fully truthfully say that just you being here and watching my videos is all of the support I could ever possibly ask for. And it means the world to me. It really, 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 really does. And I love getting to connect with you in the comment sections and stuff. And I do recognize names. I am unfortunately not always, I don't always have the time to respond to or heart comments. I try, I promise I try, but please don't take it personally if I don't respond to yours. I do read them, and I do also know how much it means when you do get responses or hearts or whatnot, but it's tough. I struggle sometimes with feeling like I have enough time and energy to do it all. So I'm a work in progress. I'm trying. And I'm always trying new things to see, okay, what if I structured things this way? Maybe that would free things up a little bit better or work better for my brain. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that and be a little bit, I guess, vulnerable and transparent. And I appreciate the grace that basically all of you guys give me. So but yeah, I'm excited for what I have to share with you guys this week. Hopefully there will be some videos that you enjoy. I do have to say that last week I had to pour some more 310. There's a good amount of 310 in this kit, actually. Thank goodness it's nice quality diamonds. There's a little hunk of trash there, but that happens with resin drills sometimes, where sometimes you'll get these little bits. I'll pick it out. It's not a big deal. The diamonds themselves are they're really nice quality. Anyway, it ended up working out well that last week was very busy for me, and I felt like that made me feel productive. Last week was really difficult for me as far as my anxiety goes. I've just been feeling a lot of stress and anxiety lately. I don't really like to talk about it because it's complicated. And there's lots of emotions tied into it. And I don't always know how others will respond to it. So I'll say I'm not looking for solutions or suggestions. I just am just sharing what's going on. So my husband is job hunting again and has been for a little while. The gig that he had didn't work out. Their financial situation changed very unexpectedly. And because he just was a contract gig, it very easy for them to just cut it early. So that's been a source of a lot of anxiety for me. He is working his butt off, and we are doing everything that we can, but it has, just to be honest, it's my anxiety has been high, and that's been a big part of the reason why. So I would just be super grateful for any positivity, prayers, anything you might have to send our way. But like I said, I feel weird bringing it up because I don't want to just be a Debbie Downer and I don't want to be annoying or anything like that, or people to read into it or make, I don't know, assumptions or something like that. So what's important is not that is happening. Like, the point of what I was going to just be talking about was just that my anxiety has been rough, and being busy, like being able to be productive and feel like I was doing things that I don't know, productive is just the only word that's really coming to mind right at the moment. that was good timing. I felt like I was able to keep busy. So I was able to keep busy. So I was able to keep from sort of dwelling on the thing that was causing some anxiety. I was able to not dwell on my anxiety. But the kicker is eventually, like, you have to try to go to sleep at night. And I know that I am not the only one, because I've heard, other creators, and you guys talk about this as well, this really, really obnoxious thing where things like anxiety and depression, for a lot of us, they get worse at night when you try to go to sleep. And I just for a few nights, I have found myself like just in a spiral, and I just want to be like, I do all the things that I'm supposed to, like the techniques that you're supposed to just sort of help break your mind out of the spiral, blah, 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 blah. I know all those things sort of like in a textbook academic sense, but sometimes in practice it doesn't really work out that way. And evenings, just for some reason, evenings, it seems to get worse. I remember this from the newborn days, newborn days after having my kids, that I dreaded when the sun went down, because it felt like, okay, now here we go, another night of the newborn rhythm of sleep, which is extremely unpredictable, and I don't know when I'm gonna sleep, and or how long I'll sleep once I am asleep, and when I'm gonna get woken up. And even with having family support there and everything, I did struggle with some postpartum depression and anxiety with both my kiddos, and I just remember then, in particular, nights were just bad. I felt terrible once the sun went down, and I dreaded it. I would like cry once it started like getting dark outside, because I knew the nights are going to be bad. Anyway, that's sort of the struggle bus I've been riding, and why I have been like yawning on and off in this WIP and Chat is because it has resulted in me getting a bit less sleep, and when I'm going through a tough time, I tend to go into hunker down mode, or like turtle mode, where I don't really want to talk to anyone about it. I isolate a bit from my friends and family and just want to handle it on my own, which is like not always the way to do it, but I think part of it comes from I don't want to talk to other people about it, because I'm not looking for suggestions. I'm not looking for someone to try to give me a quick fix or a Band-Aid. I just want to, like, it's okay to feel my feelings and to, I don't know, sometimes I just feel like I need to work through it on my own. But yeah, so last week it was good that I had things to keep my brain occupied a lot of the time, but gosh darn it, those nights when I just wanted to go to sleep, that was a little tough. So, but hopefully this week is better. Some of it was, honestly, you guys, I'm not going to get TMI, I promise, but some of it was hormonal. It was definitely like some PMS related. Sometimes my anxiety and I'll have a couple of sometimes what I call like rage days. and that was definitely all tied together as well. So hopefully this week, I mean, the past couple of nights have been a little bit better, but now I'm playing catch up, which is like catch up on sleep, which is also just not a lot of fun. But we'll get there. We'll get there one day at a time. So yes, my heart goes out to any of you that struggle with your mental health in ways that, affect your sleep, especially when you're like, I just want to go to sleep at night. But as far as what else is going on, the kids are still in school. It feels like we're the last ones still in school. I feel like I've seen so many people talking about how their kids are done with school. They're on summer break, and nope, we're still going. But it's finally just sort of starting to turn to summer weather out here. It's weird in California. Summer starts later. Where I grew up in the Midwest, I grew up in Ohio. Summer, really, when June hit, it was summer weather. And then when fall rolled around, it started to cool off towards the end of August, and by September, it was fall weather. Out here, summer really doesn't seem to start more until the end of June, at least temperature-wise. And then it stays hot here often through October. Like we'll have some triple digit weather. Usually there's like a week that's summer's last hurrah. There will be a week towards the end of October where we have weather temperatures in like over 100 degrees Fahrenheit, which is bonkers. So we have had some cooler weather this week, which has been nice. It's been a bit of a respite from just headaches and stuff, but I did take advantage of some of the cooler weather today, and I went out. We have a little sort of yard patio area in between our home and our garage that's all enclosed. Like it's safe for my kids to go play and everything. Particularly my little flight risk of Micah. And I went out back there and I noticed that the grass and stuff that we have back there is starting to get a little bit overgrown. So I thought, okay, I have the energy to take care of this before I just let it really get out of control like it had gotten before. So I was like, plus it's not hot, because once it starts getting hotter, I'm really not going to want to go out here and take care of it. And so I cut that back. And I also was really proud of myself because this was something that, again, had kind of been hanging over my head just a little bit, but I needed to fold the kids' laundry this morning, and I thought, okay, let me go get this laundry folded before we kick off another week of school, get this all put away. And then I looked over at the bag of clothes that my mom and I had gotten for the kids when she was out here a couple weeks ago. That was some summer clothes for Connor and a few things for Micah. We're able to hand down a lot from Connor to Micah, thankfully. But not all of it works out just because, they have a bit different body types. So a lot of times pants that fit Connor don't work for Micah and that kind of thing. Or sometimes Connor, does wear clothes hard enough that it's not as easy to hand him down. But anyway, I wanted to get those put away as well because those were just kind of sitting out and had been for a couple weeks since my mom had left. So I thought, okay, let me go through the kids' drawers and pull the clothes that are too small for them. And my Connor, we can basically move his directly from his drawers into Micah's at this point, which is very convenient. And then Micah's, we're not planning on having any more kids. So those just basically go into the donate pile unless there's something really sentimental that I want to save for whatever reason. So I did that this morning. It took me about an hour. But I got it all taken care of and got all the laundry put away and felt good about that. And I also had a couple of shirts that I had picked up and a couple of new tops I picked up while my mom was here and needed to get those put away. And why that was a bigger deal is because I've set a rule for myself that if I get something new clothing-wise, I have to get rid of something. It's replacing something for me, in part because I want to make sure that I'm being intentional about when I do buy something clothes-wise. And also part of it's practical. We just don't have the space. I don't have extra hangers. I have to get rid of something if I want to bring in something new. But I did do that and just added it to the donate pile. So I have a couple of bags to take to a donation center whenever I'm out and about this week, which I'm quite sure I will be. I'm quite sure I will be out and about plenty. But yeah, it felt good. It felt good to have some energy to get some things done today around the house. And I'm hoping that this week is a better week as far as anxiety and stuff goes, because I don't like having that hang over my head. And yeah. So this WIP and Chat is going to be a bit of a mix of sort of downer sorts of topics like that. Hopefully not too heavy on those. And then a whole lot of talk about summer with the Masters. But yeah, as far as the kids are doing, they're doing well. Connor is counting down the days to summer break. Micah is doing well with speech. I do need to talk to our speech therapy, like the receptionist at the center, just to let her know that Micah will have summer school for about a month, 5 weeks this summer, and I want to see if they have any availability to move him to other time slots. And then it'll probably have to change again in the fall because he's going to start kindergarten, and California does full day kinder. I don't think it's just our district. I think it's a state thing. We have full day kindergarten, which means he'll start pretty darn early. And I don't know if I'll have to pull him out of school or what that's going to look like for him to go to speech. Because right now, the way that it works out, like tomorrow morning, he'll have speech and we'll just get up a bit early. We'll go to speech and then I take him to school because his school starts, his TK program starts a little bit later. So it's not a huge deal. Do I hear Connor working around or is that a cat messing around? No? Okay. It's that my kids are in bed, so shouldn't be Connor. I think it's just the cats. The cats, oh my gosh, they've been so sweet. So we have 2 cats. One is a kitten that we got around Christmas time that was basically Connor's Christmas gift. He had been asking for a kitten for, honestly, a couple of years, and we had every intention of really trying to get one. I was actually the holdout because I was very worried about how our senior cat would do with a kitten. And spoiler alert, they are amazing. They do wonderfully together, and the kitten has actually helped increase my senior cat's confidence like exponentially. And she comes out during the day now, and she's affectionate with other people. And she was actually just on the stairs in the middle of the day today, even though Micah's running around being crazy downstairs. She was sitting on the stairs and she was letting Connor pet her. And Connor was like, Mom, Dolce's letting me pet her and she seems so happy. Mom, I hear her purring. And so I just am so thrilled that worked out. And our kitten's name is Skip. And Skip, you guys, I don't know how we lucked into getting the most perfect cat ever for Connor, because Skip is tolerant of everything. And Connor's very, very gentle. Connor's great with Skip. We're working really hard to teach Micah how to be gentle with Skip. Micah just is not gentle in general. He's very bull in a china shop. We're working on it really hard. But Skip lets Connor hug him, literal like full on hug him, and is just happy purring as can be. And lets Connor just pick him up and plop him wherever. And this is like a 9-month-old kitten who does have plenty of energy, but just he and Connor have bonded so amazingly well. It's such a sweet, it's like making me tear up because it is just the sweetest and specialist thing. And I feel really darn lucky that we got such an amazing cat for Connor. I feel like Micah's gonna need a dog, but that is not happening anytime in the foreseeable future. Dogs are spendy and they're a lot of work, and they need space. And I don't know. The timing is definitely not right for a dog. But I love dogs, and someday we will have a dog again. Micah, I think he might have an ear infection, which would explain some of his moodiness the past few days. Unfortunately, since he is really limited in terms of how verbal he is, and how much he speaks, he isn't able to really necessarily tell us and describe like when something is wrong and what is wrong, especially something that's a little bit more chronic like ear infections. But I noticed when I went to go get him out of bed this morning that there was a little bit of like brownish red on the pillow, and I looked in the one ear and there was just a little bit of dried blood there, and I thought, oh no, do you have an ear infection? He doesn't tug at or poke at his, believe me, like I spend all day with that kid. Like I am really well in tune with him. And I just knew that he was moody, and I thought that it was something else. I thought it had to do more with some other like transitions that have gone on. And he hasn't had an ear infection in a while, at least not one that's bothered him this much. But I do need to take him back into the ENT and see if those tubes are actually still in his ears. He got tubes in his ears when he was 18 months old. And it's been about a year since we've been at the ENT, and he doesn't really let doctors look in his ears very well for checkups and stuff. It's a whole thing to get him to be still enough for them to get a good enough look in his ear to see if the tubes are still there. But we really need to go back and try and see. And I'm going to be monitoring in case he gets infections. They need to do a new round of tubes because kids can outgrow them after, so many years and they fall out. I haven't seen them fall out, but they're tiny. They're so tiny that it just, it wouldn't be unheard of for them to have fallen out and me to just not have seen it. So we'll see. But I felt really bad when I walked in this morning and saw that. And I thought, oh no, buddy, do you have a ear infection? Is that what's going on? But we'll get it figured out. We'll get him taken care of. But as far as what's coming up this week, because we're kind of coming up on that hour mark, and I'll kind of start wrapping up here. But what's coming this week on my channel? A lot. I'm going to try to get that Marvelous May wrap-up video filmed and posted for you guys. I have a lot of unboxings and reviews. I have a small shop haul that I filmed like a week and a half ago. That's gotta go up this week. That's really gotta go up this week. I think it could be another busy week as far as videos go, just because I don't want to get such a backlog that I just never catch up again. But I am excited to share what I have with you guys, and I want to stay caught up on post reviews because those are really important to me to be able to share here so you guys can see completed diamond painting kits. And I did get my month in review video up for the month of May if you want to go see sort of a snapshot of little mini reviews of kits that I completed in May. And I have a playlist of all of my month in review videos if you want to just sort of go back and see snapshot reviews of the various kits I've completed. I think I started those month in review videos in 2021. I think. So there should be a good amount of videos there if you want to look. I have some other content ideas that I'm mulling over, but I'm still sitting happy that I finally got up that tips for speedy diamond painting video. That was the one that had been hanging over my head for a really long time. The other ideas that I have floating, I don't think are going to, at the moment at least, aren't ones that I see being the kind of video that would hang over my head necessarily as much, but we'll see. We'll see. I'm going to keep my lips zipped on what exactly those might be though. But who knows? I'm always trying to mull over things that you guys might find helpful or things that are new that I haven't done before that others haven't done before. So I wonder how many times I said the phrase mull over in this WIP and Chat, because that last time I just said it, it felt funny in my mouth. Like, when you've said something too many times and it's not a common enough phrase that you would normally say it that many times in casual conversation. That's what just happened to me with that phrase. And now I'm thinking, just go back and do a shot every time you hear me say that phrase in this video. No, don't do that, because I don't know how many times it was, and I don't want anyone to, hurt themselves. But anyway, I'm going to let you guys go. Thanks for hanging out with me in this WIP and Chat. I enjoyed catching up with you and chatting with you and mulling over how Summer with the Masters came to be, and just letting you know what's going on in my mind and with my content and with life and stuff. So let me know in the comments how you're doing. If you made it all the way to the end, how about, what should we do? Let's do some kind of fruit emoji in honor of this Mango Madness scented putty from Miranda's Crafty Corner. All right, you guys, feel free to subscribe if you're not already subscribed and want to see lots more diamond painting content. Also, if you made it through a whole 1 hour WIP and Chat and you're not already subscribed, you'll probably like it here. I do these WIP and Chats every Monday, and love catching up with you. Let me know in the comments how you're doing, what you are working on, anything else you feel like sharing this week. And thank you for watching. I appreciate you guys more than I can actually say. And I hope you have a really, really wonderful start to your week. All right, I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye.